There's a shape men have feared for 10,000 years, a silhouette in a doorway, shoulders wide as a yoke, waist narrow as a blade. The triangle, the V, the ancient mark of a body built for violence and labor and war. Long before anyone called it a V-taper, it was the shape of a man you didn't cross in the street. You see it carved in stone reliefs, painted on temple walls, burned into old photographs of bare-knuckle fighters and dock workers and gymnasts who never owned a single dumbbell. And if you grew up on anime, you've already seen this shape carved into your memory 100 times over. Think of Toji Fushiguro, a man with no cursed energy, no gifts, no shortcuts, just a body sharpened in solitude until it could outclass sorcerers born with everything. Shirt off, shoulders spread like a hawk in flight, waist cut so tight it looked drawn with a blade. Think of Baki Hanma, training alone in empty rooms, shadow fighting opponents who weren't there, his back unfolding like a hood of muscle every time he raised his fists. Think of his father, Yujiro, the ogre, standing on a battlefield with the demon's face carved into his back, every fiber of him built without a single machine, without a single dumbbell, a man so wide he blocked out the sun behind him. Think of Sung Jin-woo, the weakest hunter who became the Shadow Monarch. Watch the panels where he stands shirtless in the mirror, that quiet triangle from shoulder to hip, the body of a man who was forged through pain, not pampering. Think of Aoi Todo, the walking mountain, a man who openly preached that the body is built through brutal, unglamorous repetition. Nothing fancy, just iron will pressed into flesh until the flesh obeyed. Think of Goku, arms hanging slightly away from his sides, not from arrogance, but because the lats won't let them hang straight. That is the mark of a back trained past reason. Think of Vegeta, lighter, leaner, sharper. Proof that the V isn't about size, it is about ratio. Shoulders wide, waist narrow, a blade of a man. Think of Escanor, the lion of pride, a frame so wide at the top and so cut at the middle it looked impossible, drawn by an artist who clearly studied the old strongmen of the bare-chested century. Think of Levi Ackerman, small, compact, but strip the cloak and underneath sits a back layered like rope, shoulders capped tight, a waist drawn in like a soldier at attention. Pure function, no wasted weight. Think of Yami Sukahiro, the captain who walks into every fight with his coat half open, that lean, wide torso casting a shadow before he ever throws a swing. The artists didn't invent these shapes. They remembered them. They drew what men used to look like before comfort softened us. In the cold halls of old Eastern training schools, before the West discovered protein powder, boys were sent into rooms with chalked wooden floors and nothing else. No machines, no mirrors, just one rule. Master the body. Fold it, twist it, hold it against gravity until the shoulders grew wide and the waist drew tight on its own. They came out of those halls with backs like spread wings and stomachs flat as a tabletop. They had no idea what a lat pull-down was. They didn't need one. The shape was already inside them. They just had to chip away the soft. Listen, before the work, the laws. The first law. The V is built from the outside in. The shoulders push out, the lats spread, the waist pulls in. You are not adding mass, you are carving a silhouette. Every movement either widens the top or tightens the middle. If it does neither, it is a waste of your breath. The second law, the back is the engine. Most men forget the back exists. They train the front in the mirror and wonder why their shape stays narrow. The V lives behind you. in the muscles you cannot see, the ones that pull, that spread, that hold the wings open even when you stand still. You will train the back twice as hard as the chest. Always. This is the law Toji lived by, why his back, even at rest, looked like a coiled animal. The third law: the waist is a discipline, not an exercise. You do not crunch your way to a narrow middle. You hold, you breathe, you learn to draw the stomach in until it touches the spine, and you keep it there through every movement. The fourth law: wide before strong. A weak man with wide shoulders will always look more powerful than a strong man with narrow ones. Look at Levi, half the size of the men he fights, twice the silhouette. Train the angles first. The strength will follow whether you ask it to or not. Now, the protocol. 6 feet of floor, a doorway, a towel, nothing else. Start with wide push-ups. Hands placed wider than your shoulders by a hand's length. Down slow. 3 count to the floor. Chest grazing the ground. Press up. Feel the spread across your collarbone. Go until your shoulders feel like they are tearing open. Then 5 more.
Pike push-ups. Hips up, body folded into a sharp peak, head drops between your hands. Press up. This is where the shoulder caps grow round and heavy. The same caps that sit on Yujiro's frame, on Escanor's, on every fighter the artists drew when they wanted to say, without a single word, "This man is dangerous." Go until your arms shake. Then 3 more. Towel rows. Loop a thick towel around a sturdy doorknob, both ends in your hands. Lean back, feet braced against the frame. Pull your chest to your hands. Squeeze the shoulder blades together at the top. Lower slow. 20. Then 10 more. Then 10 more after that. The back never gets enough. This is the movement that builds the wings Sung Jin-woo carries under his shirt. The same wings Yami hides under his coat. Superman holds. Face down, arms stretched forward. Lift your chest, your arms, your legs. Hold the wings open. Breathe through it. Hold until your low back screams. Stay another 10 seconds. Side planks. 1 forearm down, hips stacked, lifted high. Do not sag. Hold until your obliques burn. Switch. Repeat. Hollow body hold. Flat on your back, arms and heels lifted. Stomach pulled in tight, like you are about to take a punch you cannot avoid. Like Baki bracing for his father's fist. Hold until you cannot. Then 10 seconds longer. Finish with the vacuum. Standing. Exhale every breath from your lungs. Suck the stomach in and up, under the ribs. Hold without breathing. 3 rounds, 20 seconds each. That is the work. 3 full rotations. No music, no timer, just the breath, the floor, and the slow chiseling of the shape. 6 weeks. That is how long the body takes to begin remembering what it was built for. The shoulders will start to broaden. The waist will start to draw in. You will turn sideways one morning and see a line you didn't have before. A taper. Faint, but there. 8 weeks, and shirts will sit different on you. 12, and people will stop walking the same way around you in narrow hallways. The artists who drew Toji, who drew Baki, who drew Yujiro and Jinwoo and Todo and Goku and Vegeta and Escanor and Levi and Yami, they weren't dreaming. They were remembering. Remembering a shape men used to wear before the world got soft. A shape built in small rooms, on hard floors, by hands that gripped nothing but the ground itself. You don't need a gym. You don't need a machine that costs more than a month's rent. You need a floor, a doorway, a towel, and the discipline to come back to them when no one is watching. The shape is already inside you. Carve it out.